Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Bands You've Never Heard Of.
Brought to you by Ranch Hand Records and Ranch Hand Records Presents.
This is the podcast you can trust to find great bands that will have you asking yourself, why the hell haven't I heard of them yet? I'm JR, and I spend my free time scouring the internet for unknown bands that move me and introduce them to my co-host, Gary. He's never heard them before now, and neither have you.
Yes, I'm Gary.
This is episode number 1. This show actually started as a segment on our other podcast, Small Things Considered, and it started there kind of as a last-minute episode segment idea that I had literally 10 minutes before we cracked the mics open for an episode recording one night. And it quickly turned into our favorite part of that podcast. So we thought we'd make that its own show. And here's how this works. I'm going to go searching for bands that have fewer than 100,000 plays of any of their songs on Spotify or YouTube. That's the basic rule. If you have more than that, you are too well known. And then, once I have found a band like that, I start checking them out. I listen to their songs. And if their music is any good, I go read their bio. And if their bio makes them sound interesting, I go check out their social media. And if all of that rings like true to me as like this is a band people should hear about, I introduce them to Gary. And that's the part you get to hear. We will play their songs, we will watch their videos, we will read their bio, and we will try to figure out why they qualify as a band you've never heard of.
Because we obviously think they are bands that you should have heard of.
We know a thing or two about bands that have yet to be well known. We've been playing music together for about 15 years. We've recorded several albums, and while Gary has been in successful bands in the past, it's been a while since he or we have made it big.
Yes.
So we thought, as you know, two members of a band most people haven't heard of, why not do a show about bands like us? Bands that play great music, have some personality, and for all intents and purposes, should be well known but are not yet. We will not be featuring any bands we don't actually think kick some ass. We won't be making fun of these bands. Fair criticism and lots of jealousy will abound, but this is all complimentary.
But, well, no, saying that, no, we will be real.
Yeah, fair criticism.
There are things that, it's not my cup of tea, but I get it. For those of you who are looking at my bona fides, I toured for 10 years with a group called Modern Logic. We had a record contract with Hollywood Records that ended up dying. It was age-old story of we don't know where to put you.
So as far as this show goes, whenever we can, we are going to have these bands live on the show so we can talk to them about normal stuff, right? Like, what do you want to know about a band? Their influences, their history. We want to talk about their music. And most importantly for this show, why do they think that they are a band that people haven't heard of? Some episodes of this show will repurpose those original Bands You've Never Heard Of segments from our original podcast. They will become new episodes of this show so that more people can be exposed to some of those wonderful bands, Hugo Stranger and the Rattlers, Cowboy Destroy, Crab Claw, and several others, right? There's a bunch of great episodes that you will get to hear if you subscribe to this feed, as well as...
Don't forget 3 for Silver. Don't forget 3 for Silver.
Gosh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
There's so many great bands that we have already found and already talked about, and you'll get to hear them if you subscribe to this show. That's the whole point. And any new episode we do, like this one, we are going to try to have the band live, and we are going to do that later in this show. So today's band that you've never heard of, or BYNHO as I like to call them, is named Room for Zero. We will be talking to Room for Zero later on in the show, but before we bring the band on, here's what you need to know before we get started. And I'm talking to you, Gary, and I'm also talking to all of the people listening out there at home. This band is from Cincinnati, Ohio. First off. Cincinnati.
The home of WKRP.
That's right. This is a 4-person band featuring lead vocalist Ian Ford and Michael Stubbs, Chris Harding, and Aaron Cunningham. Their first album, Come On, Come On, debuted in 2016. So they've been together playing music for 9 years or so now. Their follow-up came out a year later. It's an EP called You Used to Say I'm the Only One. And right now, currently, they are working on a new album. Which will include some singles that are already out that we will listen to here in a second. And so when I found these guys and saw them on Spotify, saw that no song had more than a few thousand plays. I read their bio. I was immediately interested. I went and looked for them on YouTube. Same kind of deal. Hundreds, thousands of plays, not hundreds of thousands, just a few thousand plays of their videos for these songs online. And very little social media presence recently. They have accounts on all of the socials, but haven't really done anything with them for about 2 or 3 years now. And so I reached out to them and found out that the pandemic really shut these guys down. And what they did was they really went full force into the studio making a 16-track album that they are excited to be releasing later this year.
Wow. That's, we could definitely relate to getting shut down by COVID and everything. So they're already relatable, first off. But most important, the lead singer's name is Ian.
Ian Ford.
Ian for the win. I mean, look at all of the fantastic bands and performers named Ian. I mean, they're mostly British.
Yeah. These guys, not British.
I know, but
Cincinnati. All right.
But no, I mean, that's a great name. Great. I mean, singer's name it's not Gary,
Gary.
All
right, before we get into their music, let's read their bio.
Oh, yeah. The bio.
This is it. This is what this band says about themselves here on their Spotify bio. With a knack for nostalgia, Cincinnati, Ohio's Room for Zero transfigures the alternative sounds of genre gone by into amorous modern music makers. The quartet produces intoxicatingly emotional sonic collateral and presents it with artistry. You'll feel heartsore, yet utterly elated. Comprised of friends Ian, Michael, Chris, and Aaron, Room for Zero harkens to the expressions of classic 1980s British artists and emerges with something familiar yet entirely new. Showcasing their retro pop rock shortly after a debut performance at the Bunbury Music Festival, Room for Zero hosted an acclaimed underground indie release party, sealing off an introductory year that destined the band for major attention. Performing alongside acts such as Florence and the Machine, Maps and Atlases, LANY, and of Monsters and Men, they've earned the title of, quote, emerging artist to watch.
Well, that is the antithesis of what they are. I mean, I haven't heard them yet at all, but they should have more than 100,000 plays,
right?
With all that,
I truly cannot figure out why this band isn't huge.
Well, possibly. I have an idea.
Okay.
The first part of their bio is word salad. I couldn't make. I mean, yeah, you're an excellent orator. You read very well, but I couldn't tell you what at all that it said.
There was lots of beautiful words in there. Keywords.
There was lots of beautiful lots. There were lots of words. There was alliteration. There was hyperbole. They used every facet of the English language.
Intoxicatingly emotional sonic collateral. Come on.
Yeah, and that is okay. So in the corporate world, they call that word tracks. So bio, not a thumbs up because of the word salad. And I've already eaten tonight, and I just really didn't need more salad.
All right. That's fair criticism. It is,
but that is possibly why they didn't break out, because people started reading that, really going, no. Yeah.
So on Spotify, they have 182 followers, 37 monthly listeners, which totally eclipses our numbers in our band, to be fair. But in the world of music, that's not a ton of people, right? So they instantly qualify here. And Gary, are you seeing my screen now? You can see the numbers here.
Mm-hmm. No, these are decent local number. But Cincinnati's a big town.
Yes. So let's get into the music. This is the song, the title track from their 2016 album, Come On, Come On. It's the song, Come On, Come On.
Come on, come on, won't you dance with me, little girl? I got lots of time and I'll give you the whole world. Shut! Come on, won't you dance with me, little girl? I got lots of time and I'll give you the whole world. Now come on, there's a chance you could be my girl. Move your feet in town and I'll give you the whole world. No, I'll give you the whole world. La la la, gorgeous eyes, look surprised. Ooh, la la la, standing there, self-aware. Ooh, la la la, come on, come on. Come on, come on, won't you dance with me, little girl? I got lots of time and I'll give you the whole world. Now come on.
All right, that's Come On, Come On from Room for Zero's debut album of the same name. And that is the first time you have ever heard this band live in any way, shape, or form, right, Gary?
Absolutely, yeah. And that fucking rocks, dude. I loved it. I mean, the groove was infectious. I mean, the everything about it was just on point. And damn. I mean, these this is something you can have fun with. Sadly, I didn't actually hone in on the words too much because I was bopping to the damn tune so much. But shit, that's to be honest, that it's very 80s. I mean, that was my kind of my heyday, and that is not unlike a lot of the bands that we played with back in the day, and had a little bit of ska going on, had a little bit of Britpop going on. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah? You want some more?
I want more.
All right, here's another song from that album. And for this one, I am going to share the video with you, Gary, because this video...
Oh, good. Yeah. Because that's one of the things we get to rate.
Yeah. This song is called Oh Felicia, off of the same album.
I was hoping to hear that one.
Yeah, here we go. Oh Felicia by Room for Zero.
Oh, Felicia.
That's Oh Felicia. What do you think?
Okay, so here's a big thing, and this is why that people should have already heard them. They don't bounce genres from song to song. That's what we do, and that's what Modern Logic did, and that's why people go, and that's why we kept getting things from record companies going, I don't know where to put you. No, these guys are on point.
Yeah.
And you should know. I mean, if you like a ska / reggae, sound, then, if you like Sublime, these guys are on it. And no, that's once again, I'm just sitting here bopping, and I'm watching the words come up because of the lyric video. Yeah, they're not the deepest.
I mean,
but who cares?
This video was mesmerizing to me when I first
cares?
saw it. I couldn't stop watching it. Yes, the lyrics are at the bottom, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So I know what they're saying. But the other part of
oh god, we're walking at the back window of a car going down a really cool freaking road. Oh,
I'm pretty sure this road is not in Cincinnati because of the cactuses mainly.
You reckon?
All right, this next song I'm going to play for you is newer, and it has a video. It is one of their latest singles that will be included on the full-length album they are currently working on. So this will be more representative of where they are today, not back in 2016 when that first album came out. And this will be the first time you get to see them perform.
Ooh.
Because, we get to see the band in this one. So let me start this song up. This song is called Too Bad.
Hold on to my heart. I got you where I want you. Let's get back to the start. 'Cause I'm still young and stupid. Shut up now. I got something to say, but I don't think you would wanna hear me anyway. So finally, I'm loving you madly. What you saying too bad? I want you so badly. So finally, I'm loving you madly. What you saying too bad? Too bad, too bad. Maybe I got lost somewhere. The stutter and I stare. Shut up now, I got something to say, but I don't think you would want it any other way. So badly, I'm loving you now.
All right, that's Too Bad by Room for Zero, one of their newer singles. Thoughts on that one, Gary?
Well, they've definitely progressed. They've moved away a little bit from the reggae ska. You can still hear the nuance of their roots, and without them continually just beating that beat into the ground. I like it, and the video was very well shot.
I love this video. What do you think of all the tinfoil in this video?
Oh, dude, the tinfoil, that was days.
Yeah.
They did not do that in 30 minutes. That was days because that's like taking just going to Costco and getting the mega roll of the Reynolds wrap and applying it everywhere that they can.
The drum head with Sharpie magic marker written RFZ on the
No,
tinfoil.
that's tape, dude. That's electrical tape.
Oh, all right, maybe. There's a bunch of little Easter eggs in this video, stuff that they've written on the
More kick
tinfoil.
drum, please.
Yes, that's my favorite part of the video.
Drummer.
I'm definitely going to ask the guys about that when we get them live here in the studio.
I mean, the Ian is mesmerizing, number one. But even more mesmerizing is the guitar player, the guy with the beard. I mean, the guy with the glasses and the beard is just freaking mesmerizing.
So
And
this guy
that
right
guy,
here.
that guy right there, yeah.
So that's the bass player.
Oh, that's the bass player.
Yeah.
Nope, that is not a bass.
Are you okay? So that's why I have you here, Gary, because I'm a drummer who knows nothing. I was wondering if now that you can see the guitars they're playing, if you had thoughts on this.
Dude, they're playing some very unique guitars. One is the one that the big guy's playing is.
Ooh, I just saw another Easter egg in the tinfoil.
Okay.
Ice cold milk is what it said.
The whoever's doing the cinematography or videography is good because you gotta watch it over and over and over and over again so that you can catch what the hell they're saying, because that becomes a very important thing, a part of the video or the whole presentation is what are they trying to say, and with the video and with the song.
How this video only has 783 views and it's been on YouTube for 4 years, just on the musical merit alone, aside from the fact that it's a mesmerizing video to watch, I do not understand why.
That's really sad. It's sad, man. It should be. Hopefully, this will boost it a little bit. I mean,
that would be amazing.
Couldn't wait.
All right, this last song and video I'm going to play for you is, I think it's their best video overall. It's also older.
Can I make one more comment?
Absolutely.
Okay, and I don't know if you noticed this, but Ian uses it's not a whole mic stand. It appears to be
the Freddie Mercury mic stand.
The Freddie Mercury mic stand, yeah, which is cool. That's a toughie, man. That takes some cojones to go for the Freddie Mercury. Or Axl Rose did it too. Axl,
sure,
and did not do it very as well as no one does it without Freddie Mercury, but. Good on you, man. Because it's that takes guts. It takes guts because you got to own it. You can't you can't back off of it. You gotta freaking own it when you do any kind of bit like that. It's so go ahead. I just had to bring that up.
This next song is called "Death of Cold."
Your atmosphere is freezing, but like a rolling warms you straight through. Vignettes around your reason, cast shadows round the outside of you. My love for you flows streaming like the raindrops falling off a roof. With every drip, drop, drizzle, no, I don't get miserable, I choose to not hold an umbrella, cause I let you soar me to the bone. Until you're passing cloud, babe, I don't feel quite so alone. You want to know, you want to know, this love will catch your death of cold. You want to know, you want to know, this love will catch your death of cold. The rouge of lipstick smearing around crystal rims that sparkle and glow. Explain to me the reason.
That guy's playing a bass, right?
He's playing a bass in this one, that was for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
He was playing guitar, or maybe he was playing a bass 6 in the other one, because that was a weird guitar. I couldn't really make it out, but yeah, he's definitely playing the bass in this one. Because I'm looking at him, I was like, wait a minute, they don't have a bass player. No, they got a bass player. Sorry about that.
So I'm going to want to find out when we get the guys in the studio here to find out what is the actual makeup of the band.
Yeah, was he playing I think he might have been playing a baritone or a bass 6 in the other one. Because it was not a guitar that I recognized. Oh, God, I hate to say it. I love the bass player. Okay, go ahead.
You hate to love bass players, don't you? Or is it that you
have you read my bio or what? Have you read my bio or what?
All right, so let's rate the videos. We've seen 3. The O Felicia video with the point of view from the camera mounted on the back of a car driving down a curvy desert road. We've seen Too Bad with the band in a tinfoil surrounded by tinfoil with little Easter egg things written all over the tinfoil. And this video, which looks starkly different from the other two, black and white, and seems to be telling a story with the band mixed in, and it just kind of kills me. I don't know why. I don't know if I should be sad or what, but I just feel something when I watch this video.
I'm a sucker for black and white, rock noir, as it were, because it's telling some, like you said, it's telling a story that we only watched half of it, so we're not going to get the whole story. The one thing that I've got to say, across the board, their cinematography. Of course, you're not letting us see the cheap one, and none of these were shot on what would be called a budget. I mean, I would say maybe they spent $50 total for the 3 videos. The gas for that first one because they were driving quite a lot. But these are all DIY stuff, man. But damn, creativity is a 10. Absolutely 10 on all 3 videos.
All right, I said I was done playing the songs, but I don't have any more videos to play for you, but I'm going to play one more song. They released the single Death of Cold, which is the song you just heard, back in 2017. And when they released it, there's a second song released in that, kind of like a modern day B-side, right? And so this song is called Headbanger, Isn't Too Bad a Moniker.
Oh, won't you be my little headbanger? Hair just like an ocean all around. It wouldn't be too bad a moniker, considering the other names around. Oh, won't you be my little headbanger? Hair just like an ocean all around. It wouldn't be too bad a moniker, considering the other names around. Plant your boots right on the ground, up here beside the van, where nobody else will stand, cause it's way too bloody loud. You kiss ups to share your best friend found.
Headbanger Isn't Too Bad a Moniker, considering all the other names around. I don't know.
I like the sentiment. The song jumps around so much, though.
It's a B-side. Keep that in mind.
So
I didn't see it on any of the albums.
Some of the B's, a lot of the B-sides, have traditionally become the hit.
I love this song, man. Come on.
You love it because it changes beat so much. I mean,
I like the changing of the beat. From the Easter egg in the other video where it says more kick drum, please, and this song and several other places, this song respects the importance of the drummer. This band knows how important that sound is, and they emphasize it, and I love that.
These guys play dance songs. It's not like us. They don't play plodding, epic, songs that in mid tempo or slow to mid tempo that has pain and anguish in it. They play dance songs, and that song fucks up dancers. Straight up. I get that. Sorry.
I get that.
Once again, love the B part, the main riff, but swapping the entire rhythm every 20 seconds does not a good dance song make at all.
All right, I'm going to stop lying to you at some point, but it's not right now, because I'm going to play you one more song. And it's the other single that is going to be on this new album. It's called Always Lonely, and I think it breaks the mold a little bit with what you just said there.
All right.
some retro in that song. You know, they
But
talk.
I'm also hearing some Coldplay and you know some
Kings of Leon
some
a little bit.
21st century stuff in there. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie, dude. That's my favorite.
I'm glad I didn't let it go.
I'm glad you played that one, and it's not my favorite just because that it's like Coldplay or like Kings of Leon or anything, but it shows the end result of the journey they've made since being like a pop punk reggae. Starting, pop punk reggae thing, and then kind of flattening that out a little bit. Switching up in the middle and throwing stuff at the wall to see what's going to work. And this one I take is like one of their latest things because it hasn't even been published yet. From the looks of the,
it's a single. So the single came out a couple years ago. So and it's one that Ian has told me is going to be on this album that they're working on currently.
Yeah, no, that one that just shows the growth, man. That's like putting everything together to make a real shot at it. And no, I love it. I can't say it enough.
So we're basically thumbs up on the videos, thumbs not so up on the bio. And we haven't given our thoughts on their name yet. Room for Zero. What do you think of that name?
Well, it's rememberable, which is a major thing. But more importantly, is it searchable? Did you search it?
It is. When you type in Room for Zero into Google, you get this band and all of their socials. They don't have like a roomforzero.com website that I could find. And so I don't think they have one. But
I build band websites.
I give this name a thumbs up from.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up for the name
for
too.
SEO, and it's just kind of mysterious and cool. It's a good name.
Yeah, it's kind of like 3 for Silver, except well, maybe they probably have a a reason for it too. Once we talk to them,
well, let's find out.
No, I'm interested. I'm really interested in seeing where they came up with that.
Well, I think we've spent enough time talking about the band. I think it's time we talk to the band. So let's take a short break. When we come back, we will be live with Room for Zero.
Awesome. There you are.
Ooh, there we go.
There's Room for Zero. Oh, wow. It's a panel.
A panel interview?
This is actually just
Holy
our PR team.
moly.
The band will be out in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, this is amazing, guys. I'm glad I never told you how many listeners we don't have.
Same here.
We're hoping to change that for both you and for us.
Right on.
Heck yeah, guys! Are you in the studio?
This is Chris's man cave / studio.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Shall we go around the room and do a roll call? Let's introduce ourselves. My name is J.R. Stoffel. Gary and I are in a band together called To Be Fair, and we host multiple podcasts together. And this is the first live recording that we're doing for bands you've never heard of.
Yeah, the bands you never heard of started out as a segment on our other podcast together, which is called Small Things Considered. And we decided that this was the best part of that and had more possibilities of taking off. So you guys are the premiere episode.
Excellent.
Yeah, we heard on the last episode we were gonna be the guinea pigs for the live show.
Yeah, we like it.
There you go.
We love
Awesome.
guinea pigging.
Is this a video podcast or are we just
So I'm recording video. We've never done it as a video podcast, but it seems like a good time to maybe consider.
Yeah, especially
like
with the panel with the panel discussion.
Let's
I'm
just give
recording
it
video on my end. I don't know if the meeting is recording, but I've got a video recorder happening. So
Cool.
Just
Great.
give a description of our set here. It's a dark, moody, manly room with 4 handsome young men in a
Very,
panel.
very handsome.
Very handsome.
Emphasis on
Yes.
handsome.
Yes, for those who can't see, who aren't watching.
All right, how about introductions? From my perspective, the man on the far left is in the green shirt, moving down the table. Let's start there.
Oh, the blue one here. Gotcha. I'm Aaron. I play drums. Do I need... If you want a longer bio, I can do a longer
The end.
bio, but yeah.
Ian Ford, vocals.
I'm Chris Harding. I play guitar, sometimes bass, and I also do the engineering for our studio projects.
I'm Michael, and I also play guitar and occasionally sing some really high-pitched background vocals.
It's you I'm hearing in the background.
Bass here and there, too. You do some bass
Yeah, that's
actually
what I
on a
do.
couple tracks, too. So
Yeah, I thought in one of the videos, Chris, that you were playing guitar and then you're playing bass in the next one, and JR and I were having a discussion. Well, what's he doing? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he's playing a bass 6. I don't know. Maybe he's playing a baritone. I can hear the bass and I can see the guitar. So now this.
So here's where we are in our Room for Zero musical journey. I've been listening to you guys for about a month,
Right on.
and I've started emailing you guys right away, and I've been excited for tonight. Like, it's all I think about when I'm not at work, because it's a new journey for us in the podcast, and I'm excited to meet some people that are playing some music I really have started to love in the last month. And I thought of you for this, and so I had to bite my tongue every time I was with Gary and not tell him who the band was or give him any kind of spoilers. And then we recorded a week ago tonight about a 30-minute segment of this podcast where I played 5 or 6 of your songs, several of your videos. We read your bio. We talked about the name of the band. And so that was his exposure to you and the existence of Room for Zero. So he's known about you for about a week, me a little bit longer. We both agreed that we love what we're hearing and that you are absolutely a wonderful choice for our podcast about bands that people have never heard of.
Especially for the premium
flattering.
edition.
Thank you very much.
And we have lots of questions. And is there any more exposition that we need? Do you think, or?
I think that sets us
Yeah,
up
because
because
we already have the first part done, so people are now familiar with who you all are and what you sound like, and so now we can get to the nitty gritty.
All right.
We're doing the hard hitting journalism that the mainstream media is not willing to do.
That's right. Someone's got to.
I want to start off by addressing the potential elephant in the room. Did it bother you at all to be contacted about being on a show called Bands You've Never Heard of? Or was this a surprise?
No, not in the least. There was I think some of our first exposure or like airplay ever was in the UK, and there was a show called the Unsigned Artist Show. That was like the first like kind of maybe like, I don't know, bigger exposure we ever had. But I think it's great, and I think it's hard sometimes for smaller bands and stuff to really get exposure and out there. And so no, not at all, not offended at all.
We're just happy that people are listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We do this more for us than I think for anybody else. So the fact that other people are getting some enjoyment out of it is great.
100%.
We've gotten a ton of enjoyment out of it so far, man.
Thank
So-
you.
And thank you.
Why do you think you are a band you've never heard of? And let me add some context to that. Your music is too good for you to not have been heard of by more people. And when I listen to these songs, I'm like, was that in that movie? I mean, it sounds like stuff I've heard all over the place. Why is it that a band as good as you guys doesn't have a major following already?
The movie bit's an interesting observation. We definitely I think in writing the songs, want our music to sound familiar in a way, but still new and play on an emotion or a nostalgia even that maybe you could say is almost cinematic. So I like that observation because I agree with that. It's definitely something we go for.
I'd say maybe not heard of us because we kind of stopped gigging when the pandemic went down, lockdowns. We sort of, things dried up for us, and so we just went into recording mode, and we've been recording an album for, no joke, 5 years. And we got into that mode so intensely that it was like kind of hard to pivot out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm really grateful for that time too, because some of these tracks that we wrote, that we demoed like 5 years ago now, are totally different and matured so much because we learned, we matured, and we weren't necessarily just like grinding playing gigs. We like took the time to like focus on production, focus on the actual writing. And I feel like when we first got started, we got some really quick notoriety and some good gigs locally, and maybe the songs weren't entirely there in terms of production or depth. And so it was kind of I guess a blessing in disguise, being able to kind of like stop, regroup, and focus on the music itself, which we really love. And I guess it's kind of an opportunity now for us to kind of reinvent ourselves and give people who want to listen some really thoughtful music, a real piece of us, I guess.
Well, it's great that you brought that up, because it segues right into my next question, which is how one of the things that we commented upon on the earlier part of the podcast is your musical journey, because you started out as kind of a ska reggae, punk, ska punk band, ska reggae, reggae punk band. And you could watch it, and you could see the ska still in the mix, and then it kind of starts to wane away. And then thank you all so much for sending me those two newest songs, because that is that's really cemented my opinion, or my thought about the whole thing. But how would you describe that whole process from going? And I know it's years, so it's not like it just happened overnight. But how would you describe how that that journey from just a ska punk band to this elaborate almost psychedelic at times music?
I think the reggae is pretty much gone from our sound now.
Yeah.
I stopped playing reggae beats, and it just changed.
I guess we do have one track that's upcoming that's harkens back to that. I was really into the Police a lot, and so staying in the Police was like big for me and my vocal styling and just overall like first kind of interest or love in music. So I think that's where a little bit of that reggae-ness comes from. And I think we first started kind of really we're doing it for fun. There's a local Cincinnati band called Walk the Moon who ended up getting really big, and at the time they were not as big. And we kind of wanted to maybe ride their coattails a little bit if we could. So we were more just having fun playing and playing fun gigs and having a good group of fans and friends. And I think I just kind of naturally matured. After our first kind of album, we definitely went a little more into like kind of Brit rock.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where a lot of our roots were, just really good, much more guitar-driven songs. And then after that, I remember we played a show. It was like really late at night at a little coffee shop, which we'll sometimes do little acoustic acts. And like we stayed out in the parking lot till like midnight, and we talked about songwriting and music and our direction. And something we kind of decided on there was we were gonna write songs that we weren't gonna like limit ourselves by, okay, could we play that live or not? We're like, well, okay, we'll figure that out. Does that appeal to this fan base or the way we sounded or this, that, and the other at all? Nope, doesn't matter. So I think there was a little bit of maybe not caring as much, maybe not riding coattails as much, maybe not trying to fit into a particular sound or genre or group that I think was kind of liberating, and I'll never forget that. Do you remember that? It was at at Java Johnny's, and we were, the place closed down at 10, and we probably sat in their parking lot till like 2 a.m, like philosophically or existentially, determining what we were going to do going forward. So
Yeah,
The hang afterwards is always better than the gig.
it, man.
yeah.
We've
I'm glad
never done
Ian-
that, so I don't know what that's like.
I'm glad Ian brought that up because I do remember early on we were very concerned about with our songs, like, let's make sure that we only write as much as we're able to play on stage. Like, if we had 2 guitar players and a bass player, we're only going to have 2 guitar parts and a bass part. Like, that was it. And we were super invested in that idea of we should be able to play everything in its full arrangement live. But then, like Ian was saying, we kind of shifted a little bit and we just started saying what would make this song better. And then we started adding additional layers of guitars. There's some synth stuff on the newer tracks.
Yeah.
And
That's why we have a floating bassist now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Our hand was forced a little bit because we had like kind of went through bassists. I don't know if that's like if that was in Spinal Tap. I don't remember.
That was drummers in Spinal
But
Tap.
I mean,
It was
we kinda
bassists in my old band Modern Logic. We went through 6. So
Wow.
Okay, it was only I think 2 for us, and we were like, that's enough.
Yeah, we turned our bassist into a MacBook.
We did, unfortunately. But that was an interesting predicament. Was okay. What do we do live? Because some of the songs were very bass driven. So I think it speaks to Chris and Michael's ability. They pivot here and there. So live, we had to really make a concerted effort to make sure that it looked like we were playing everything live, even though some things were very cleverly tracked. And so that was a big decision. That was a big part of our, production and live show, was making sure that it's the most important pieces of the song were actually played live. And then how did we do that? How did we transition? How did we switch instruments for Michael and Chris to make it, a way that seemed seamless, and still give a very genuine performance, but still be able to give like the full, message and body of the song. So.
do you have a support crew to help you with that? I mean, it's, like guitar. No, I'm talking about like guitar techs and stuff for switching instruments.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris does everything, and your other guy's just like, hey man, thanks for having me along.
Where do we plug this, Chris? Chris comes up with great plans for us, and then we all kind of have a role and set up and tear down.
Yeah, Aaron does a lot
sets.
of planning with the laptop and building the show file and helping us kind of dial everything in. But as far as the mastermind of routing and figuring out how to get the equipment to work usually falls in my lap.
Our live shows are really like a sight to behold because, I don't know, Chris could speak more to it, but none of the people that mix at these venues like us very much until they figure out what we're doing.
And then they're like,
and then they love us.
yeah, this is great.
So have you guys been playing out live a bunch recently, or has that all been still not happening since the pandemic? And is that part of the plan going forward, I assume?
This is our first live appearance since 2020.
We're still alive.
And wow, it's a panel discussion.
Yeah, we did just a Michael and I did like an acoustic like songwriter showcase once, and then we did we have some friends that work for a local cable TV channel that like will like broadcast high school football games and like
Public access kind of stuff.
exactly, yeah. And then but they're musicians too, so they turned part of their station into like a live. It looks like a 70s or 80s era like live musical broadcast, and so we did a show with them. That was really cool too. But we haven't done a whole lot live, and kind of purposeful, I guess, to wait until we were really ready,
And Chris and I can't sit still, so we actually play with another band just for fun. We play with a cover band that does like 2000s and 90s covers and stuff. So we play out once a quarter.
So this is where Gary is going to bring up the fact that I think we have an explanation now for why 10 o'clock seemed like too late at night for you guys to record this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We're thinking Gary played a gig today after this evening, and and we're like, what are these guys talking about? 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Yeah, I was like going, because I don't know if you could tell because I'm so well preserved. I'm 65. Okay. So
You are well preserved.
and I've got 4 gigs this week, and
Wow.
Right on.
it's I'm like 10 o'clock. They're like scoffing at 10 o'clock. Come on, guys, come on.
I'm with
You're
you,
rock and
Gary.
roll, man.
I'm the night owl of the group. Everybody else is
Yes.
a grown up with a job. And
The 9 to 5.
I've got a job. I've got 3 jobs.
well, I do too. Yeah.
We've just given up on the dream. And we're
Jaded. Let me go to bed.
What are the day jobs for you guys? If you want to divulge.
Boring.
Oh, nothing
Who wants to
exciting.
go first?
well, I work with my hands like a man a lot of the time.
He's a lumberjack.
I manage rental cars, so fixing stuff and changing tires and dealing with bad customers and repossessions and stuff.
Oh boy, that's fun.
Repos. Wow.
Yeah, that's the fun part of the job. I'm not gonna tell you the boring stuff.
Yeah.
He's got some stories. Yeah, and I work for a small company that does hydraulic and pneumatic training and reverse engineering and stuff like that.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yep. I am an IT admin for a local university.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming.
Yeah, you know, man.
And I work for a software company managing a data entry team in India.
Oh, sweet.
Got it.
Is your Punjabi up to date? Are you good with the?
No, they tried to teach me one word, and I cannot even remember that. I'm horrible at remembering it.
Do you guys see for yourselves a pretty big future? Like, do you see this thing going somewhere? Is that a realistic goal in your minds?
We want to. Yeah, we definitely. I don't know. We don't want to let it go. We want these songs to be the best they can be when we put them out. So, I mean, to kind of give us the best shot, I think.
Yeah, and we've been doing this a pretty good while, and
Yeah.
I've known Ian since early high school, probably middle school even.
Yep.
And whether it's music or whatever, I always want to be doing something with this group.
Yeah, I think even if the band wasn't going anywhere, we'd still get together.
That's part of the reason it's taken so long is when we get together, we want to hang out so much we never get anything done.
That's probably true.
We spend like 2 hours hanging out and shooting the stuff, and then we spend maybe 30 minutes working on something productive.
That's a productive 30 minutes, though.
Sounds like us waiting on our bass player.
Consistent weekly meeting here where we just hit the same restaurant, mess around for 2 hours, and then finally get to work on whatever it was we didn't finish last week.
Yeah.
So
Skyline Chili.
we've been plugging
We're
away at this
Cincinnatians.
album.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
a Skyline Chili. I've had that one time. Weird. Kind of weird.
It's weird. Every time we get together, it's about an hour of the time. So
So were you guys like you're friends and you're in a band? How does that work? And how has the pandemic, and it sounds like it's working pretty well. You guys sounds like you've grown closer. Were you friends before being in the band, or what?
well, Michael and I were.
Yeah.
I think you and Aaron knew each other too.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. I had my friend and coworker who was originally our drummer introduced me to Chris, and so then it was me, Chris, Michael, and Nick Imholt was our original drummer, and then Nick blew out his shoulder very very literally, and Aaron came on, and so yeah, it's been the 4 of us for a while, and yeah, we were so kind of 2 sets of groups of friends, and yeah, we hit it off really well, and so we became friends more than anything, which I think was really important.
Yeah.
I think that and your experience over the past few years explains, and you kind of alluded to this earlier, where your music maybe used to have more of a pop feel, like like it was supposed to sound that way, and now it sounds more authentic, more representative of you and your personalities and your musicality. I'm definitely picking up on that. Gary sent me the 2 songs that you, for some reason, only sent to him. I felt very,
Sorry about that.
He was a little offended.
I felt
but,
very left
you know.
out. He's like, the 2 new songs are great. I'm like, what 2 new songs? They said they were going to send them, but they didn't. So I literally listened to them 10 minutes before we met up here, and I haven't gotten to listen to the entirety of either of them yet.
Because I kept butting in.
But I heard
They're
enough.
little sneak peeks. Yeah, we're still working on them. So, but yeah.
I heard enough to know that it's not a total departure from where you were at before,
Oh, it's an evolution.
but it is definitely a clear evolution, a growth, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we knew or would have, could have, our music would have sounded like that at first, but it didn't because we weren't as mature, we weren't as developed, and didn't maybe have our sound or our or even just us. I just knitting personally, also knitting musically. So yeah, it never would have happened then. Would I have liked it to? When we were maybe younger and maybe had a bigger following. Yeah, but this is good. This is where it should be. So
I'd like to ask you about your videos. I'm sure Gary has questions too. The first video of yours I watched was "Oh Felicia," which is the car driving down the desert road.
do we have a video? Oh
Oh yeah. I was like, we have a
I was gonna say, do we even have a video for that? Yeah, I think
Surprise!
It calls itself
that was kinda-
the official lyric video because you do have the lyrics down at the bottom, but it's just from the point of view of a GoPro on the trunk of a car.
Yeah.
And I have found myself mesmerized by that video multiple times.
It's fun to watch.
That's a good video.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I mean, how did you come up with that?
I wanted something to do with the car. I guess if I could have had the means to do a full music video, we'd probably be cruising around in a classic Jag or something for that song. But no access to that, so I came across this great footage of driving in the desert backwards too.
Oh, okay, so that was not, you didn't shoot that, you found, that
Nope.
was found footage?
Wasn't shot. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to admit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean,
That's a fun one. I like that one.
reduce, reuse, recycle. That's what I
Damn,
live
I had
by,
a whole
man.
bunch of
That's right.
questions about production on that video that are now.
Couldn't tell you.
All right, let's move on to the video for "Too Bad" with all the tinfoil and all the stuff written on the
Yes.
tinfoil and all the Easter
That was
eggs.
marvelous.
So
Who
many
came up
Easter
with that
eggs on
concept?
wall. I guess I did. We wanted to do something that was kind of intimate, kind of close and sort of almost frantic shots of us just playing through a song. And it's actually in Chris's basement. It's where we would practice and rehearse anyway. And so, where did you get the burrito wrappers?
Michael bought the tinfoil.
I went
right?
to Costco.
We called it in the first part of the episode.
No
Called it.
lasagnas were harmed in the
The,
making of that video.
The
I
huge.
think we had to go back and get a second one.
Did
too.
you get the?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
the Kirkland
Yeah.
mega roll. Yes.
Yeah.
You know it. So funny story. The lamps in that video, if you're gonna watch it,
Oh yeah.
we picked them all up from Goodwill or wherever. One of them was missing a ground prong, and the body of the lamp became the ground. So if you would touch it, it would zap you. We had this thing sitting on the tinfoil. This entire room's covered in tinfoil. So I don't know what we did,
It was
but
Sparky.
we figured that out before anything bad happened.
You made me.
Well, I
touch
thought
it.
the performance was electrifying.
Yeah.
Found out there.
Yeah, and the multicolor lights are actually just Philips Hue lights. We downloaded some software that I guess I can't remember if it was reactive to the music. Or,
Yeah, I made a separate video file of
yeah,
different
that's
colors,
right.
and it would
Yeah.
sample the colors, and it would sync to the song.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super cool.
It was fun.
We had a ton of fun building that room. Just writing all sorts of little tidbits from time with the band and little inside jokes and all sorts of stuff.
More
More
kick drum.
please. My favorite
Yeah.
thing that I saw. In that.
That's a
That's a
funny
true
story.
story.
Yeah, there was we were we were playing a gig, and I think the sound guy was kind of annoyed with us because we were just an opening act, and we had an elaborate setup, and yeah, he was sound checking drums, and he just kind of more kick drum, please. Whenever he would stop kicking, so that's been a one-liner for us.
I feel you, Aaron, as the drummer in our band. There's never enough kick drum for me.
No.
Have you ever seen have you ever seen a band play where the drummer is sitting on some sort of seat that is also a subwoofer? Because I've seen that, and I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
want one of those. Yeah.
It's like a throne thumper or
A
something.
rumble throw.
And
Yes.
he's got a 24-inch kick.
Nice.
When we
I'm
we
just
set it
sticking
up
with the
when we
20.
set it up in the studio to record the new album, it was painful when he would hit, because the room was perfectly tuned for mastering, not for recording, and it was literally painful every time he would hit the
So what you're saying is we need one.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
so yeah.
When we get back to playing music, then I might,
Right.
look into a kick
So
drum.
look into that. It's
Yeah. So let's talk about the song and the video for "Death of Cold," which, as I mentioned in one of my emails, that there's something about it that just kills me. I don't know if it's painful. I don't know if it's sad. I don't know if it's a true story. I don't know if there's a real woman behind this or what. It seems to be telling the story, but I have yet to decipher it. And so, can you help me?
Yeah. So Death of Cold was did Mike
Mike Stacy did that
Stacy
one, right?
shot
Yeah,
that for us. Yeah. So we had a rough idea of just telling the story of like, I guess a falling out, right? And
Yeah.
and maybe like some animosity, some longing there. So we wanted to convey that visually in that, and so we kind of did a nice moody room. We have a funny story with the I don't know, that might break the appeal. That's kind of a secret
Yeah,
of
the last scene.
The last scene.
Yeah, don't tell them that.
We won't tell them that.
yeah. Don't tell us that.
But there were some really funny things in production of that would probably ruin the mood. So we'll keep that to ourselves. But yeah, that was really neat, and Mike did a good job with that.
Yeah, that was a beautiful video. So, who shot the one with the tinfoil room? Did he shoot that one also?
We did, and our friend Nick, who was the drummer, actually did a lot of the filming on that.
Oh,
So,
okay. Because I
yeah,
mean,
so-
we just the consistency from those two videos was very high. We picked up on that, and once again we saw the evolution of you guys from the shiny glittery into the noir, and it's like, oh, they're
Love that.
we're feeling it, and that was that, along with the music itself, just made you're making a statement with not only your music but the visuals accompanying it. So good job. And I mean, just not that what I say means a damn thing, but
No, it does. It's very
Yep.
appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for noticing the subtlety that goes into that. I think when we write any song, at least for me, lyrically and otherwise, I want to convey an emotion or a sense of time, a sense of space, a sense of feeling with it. And so to have the video match is sometimes difficult to do, to be honest. But at least in the music, if we can convey that and get that point across, that's what we're after. So.
I think you did that with both Too Bad and Death of Cold, where the video really does match the aesthetic of the song itself. I'm going to ask a question to Gary now that Ian, you will recognize immediately, maybe the rest of you. Gary, do you know what Lagavulin is? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
no.
Whiskey Breja.
You might just be saying it so poorly that I don't.
How do you actually pronounce it, Ian?
Lagavulin.
Yeah, Lagavulin.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is, Gary?
No.
I asked Gary because he drinks a lot more than I do. I thought he might recognize it. I had no idea what that was, and when I did, I was highly impressed with how you wove that into that first verse.
Yeah, I pronounce it differently just for the sake of the song and the phonetics. I say Lagavulin, but Lagavulin would be actually how you'd say it. Yeah.
And it was in, I think, that song where I wasn't sure if when we cracked the mics today if you were going to actually have a British accent, because I hear it come through in some of the songs.
Yeah, that's the Sting influence, I think.
That's-
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, your vocals are very stylized, which is awesome because you picked a great style. But I did make mention at the very onset once JR told me everyone's name, I was like, why aren't they famous? The guy's named Ian. Shit. That's a gimme.
Ian.
I mean, that's just
Yeah, right.
It's because like half the people, half the famous vocalists in England are named Ian. I mean, like, that's you got one step up there already. So.
I'll work on it.
We are recognized in the UK.
Yeah, you
That's right.
might want to
That's
just
right.
send stuff over there.
Yeah, we actually had really good response over there. Like I said, one of our first like kind of radio play was a local station in the UK. So, yeah.
European tour. We featured another band on this segment of our other show called 3 for Silver, who I've never heard of. They don't have a lot of plays on Spotify or YouTube or anything. And when I started emailing with Lucas from that band, he's like, "Oh, we're huge in Europe. Like we tour Europe 2 or 3 times a year." It's not. I'm not surprised you haven't heard of me on the East Coast. We have a little bit of a following in the Pacific Northwest, but Europe is where it's at. We got to go where the money is, and so there might be something to that.
Yeah, and I have 2 or 3 friends that they do European tours every year, and and here they maybe play 2 or 3 shows, scattered about, but they'll play 20 shows over in Europe, and 5,000-10,000 people at a skip, and it's mind-boggling, but they just appreciate good music over there more than we do here. I mean, straight up.
I'm sold. Let's go, guys.
I know, right?
And they would
Everybody's
really love you
passports up to
guys.
date?
I was gonna say,
They
yeah.
really love you guys.
So what's the plan for the songs that you've been recording that you haven't released as singles? Is it going to be an album? Is it going to go straight to streaming? Are you going to put out physical media, CDs, vinyl? What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's I don't know. Well, we've definitely decided that we will have a full-length album. I just think that there's something really important about a full-length release because, I mean, I think the best albums are the ones that you can listen front to back.
Yeah.
Both sides. No filler. Just the whole piece is a composition as well.
So
And
vinyl.
we're definitely going for that. Yeah,
So vinyl.
that'd be great. Press some vinyl on that.
We'd
Yeah.
love to do that.
Yeah. It's 16 tracks we've been working on. Two I guess are technically re-records of songs that we couldn't really let go, but wanted to see, re-recorded with what we know now. But yeah, 2 of the tracks, Too Bad and Always Lonely, we've already released. They'll be on that album as well. But it'll be 16 tracks total, and we wanted to tell a story the whole way through. So
That's a double album, by the way.
yeah.
Finalized. So you would need a gatefold case or a gatefold jacket, and
Right? Yep.
So-
Absolutely.
if we want to talk about it later on, I can give you some details on that. Okay. So
That would actually be appreciated.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Thanks, Gary.
it's-
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm serious. It's because I've been going through that for our thing too. So
Cool.
so it's not as difficult as it feels, but it's not as easy as just like going, oh, we'll just throw it on Spotify.
Right. That's right. Yep.
Is there a story behind the name Room for Zero?
A little bit. It's a little bit of an homage to my dad and my uncle had a band when they were youngsters called the Zero. And they were pretty prominent locally anyway in Cincinnati, and my uncle still plays a lot. He tours the South a lot. He does a blues roots act, John Ford Blues Society. He's got a great album that just came out that I highly recommend if you're into blues.
Sweet.
I've heard of them.
Yep, I got to
Yeah.
sing. I got to sing backing tracks on one of the albums or one of the tracks, and Chris recorded me too. So we've got a little piece of that. That was kind of an honor to sing with my uncle. So
that's cool.
But yeah, so the Room for Zero was a little bit of a homage to The Zero, and then there's also an old it's called Room 40 or 40 in an old naval building in the UK that was part of World War II. I think it was counterintelligence or maybe it did some sort of code deciphering, if I recall. And I just kind of thought the story of that room was kind of cool. So there's a little bit of double meaning there. So
Yeah, in the Too Bad music video, there's a door. I don't know how visible it is
Yeah.
in the final cut of the video, but there's a door and it says room number 4, number 0.
yeah,
Nice.
that's meant to
You got-
symbolize that old building,
that video
and the
is
naval intelligence.
It got so many Easter eggs, man. It's just, I mean,
It's worth
that's
rewatching
so
many times. because
multiples,
there's
yes.
things like that. You can pause it 100 times and catch something new in the background. I love that.
cool.
Did you see the raccoon?
Nope. I got.
All right.
I'll probably watch
Watch
it again
again.
here after we're done.
Yeah, you're gonna keep me up all night, man. Come on. I'm an old man. I was out till
This is
2
really
last
smart strategy
night,
to
so
hack the YouTube algorithm.
That's right.
Get all that
Just
watch
keep watching.
time.
Like, what was that?
Yeah, it's a way to get more plays on YouTube.
we
too,
we
so
should
it works.
have watched it again right before the we didn't know. You know, I don't think that's fair. They should have told us.
So, what's the music scene like in Cincinnati?
It's great.
Yeah, we are very, very lucky to have a very welcoming and active music scene here. Everybody supports everybody. There's a thriving metal scene here. There's folk, bluegrass, anything you can imagine does well in Cincinnati. We have the same struggles as everybody with getting people out to shows, competing with other forms of entertainment. But as far as the talent and the local bands that are around here,
Oh, yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's an
Unreal.
underrated scene, especially in terms of talent, for sure.
Is
Yeah.
there one predominant genre that's going, or is it evenly spaced?
I feel like alternative, just as a general rule, which I know that's a broad category, but a lot of the bands that we've played with that we've been really impressed with have fallen into that category.
Well, that's you guys. So I mean,
Sure.
Oh yeah.
you know, you're not mainstream. If you were mainstream, we would not be talking to you. So
That's right. Yeah, multiple generations too of really a strong and tight knit music scene in Cincinnati. Yeah.
It's been very humbling playing with a lot of the bands around Cincinnati because, you know, sometimes you'll play with a band that you've never played with before and that you've never heard of, and you're seeing them for the first time and like, dang it, why are we following them?
Yeah.
You know,
It's true,
It's
there's-
always a humbling experience.
Yeah, there's a lot of like bands you've never heard of that are in Cincinnati that are very good, and
please
we've made a
recommend them
lot of
to
good
us.
friends,
We're
so
looking. We're actively searching. So.
we
But no,
absolutely will.
that is a fun thing though when you have someone, you know, and in these types of shows, there's not openers and closers. They're just who gets the luck of this slot in a lot of
Yep.
cases. But then you have to go on after them, and it's
Makes you want to play better.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it's true.
It does. It's like you gotta, you know, but you also, it also kind of messes with you a little bit because it's like, how the hell are they going before us? You know, it's like,
right.
yeah,
We've played with some really prominent artists too, not just local, that kind of blow my mind sometimes. Like we played a show with the ex-members of Third Eye Blind. That was kind of surreal to see those guys walk in and us open for them at a little gig in Cincinnati. You know, we did the Bunbury Music Festival, which is a local festival we were on that also had some really huge acts the day we played that
Is that where
we
you
were
played
able
with
to kind of
Florence and
mingle
the
with.
Machine?
Yeah, she headlined that night. Elle King played right after us. Boy, she was incredible. Yeah, that was really. We've been really blessed and privileged with some of the bands that we've opened for, and then some that I think were kind of like on the rise. There was Weathers, Spirit Animal, like
Wild Adriatic.
Yeah, Wild Adriatic, Maps and Atlases. We've been really, really blessed to be picked to open for some bigger acts and play some bigger shows. So
Shout out to the strangest pairing we've ever had.
man.
We opened for Steel Panther. If you're familiar with Steel Panther,
That was more kick drum.
that was more kick drum.
Kick drum. Yes.
That was an interesting show
yeah, all the men who were there were very confused and
and upset.
yes, but their wives and girlfriends were loving.
We kind of
so,
liked it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We were not a crowd favorite
Yeah.
that night.
That was an uncomfortable.
No, Steel Panther fans, they don't accept anybody else, man.
Fair enough too. I mean, it was understandable.
Was that one of those radio station like vote?
Yeah, we got
system
voted
things?
in.
Yeah, so we somehow
Very loyal fan base, man. Like they're good. They're good to us, and they got us in there, even though we were kind of like in our very pop stage, indie pop stage, opening for Steel Panther, and I think we were. I think the sound people were a little annoyed at first, and then heard us play, and were like, "Oh, okay, these guys are good." And so we became good friends with some of the people that worked there at Bogart's that night, and then. Yeah, it was an interesting, as we were standing in the back as fans were leaving, some guys were giving us the finger, and then some of their friends were like, yeah, you guys are great.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, it was very, that was a fun show. And the Steel Panther guys were actually really cool too.
Yeah,
They were the nicest.
They were so cool with us, walking on and off stage and everything, and backstage. They were cool.
So you guys have a following, a fan base that is eagerly awaiting your new music, your re-entry into the gigging world as Room for Zero. Is that true?
Well, we were just discussing, before we came on with you, that we need to go on an apology tour for, like radio silence and, taking 5 years to make this album. So hopefully after we, apologize to our fans, they'll be very forgiving and welcome us back with open arms.
It is our hope that you tell your fans to listen to this episode of this show, and they will hear you apologize in person on the show.
Yeah, that's the best
All right,
apology ever.
Should we do it right now?
sure.
Like formally?
Sure.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're so sorry.
Very, very sorry.
That doesn't sound right, man. Come on.
So what is the release plan? When is this new album coming out? Do you have a date yet? And in conjunction with that question, the two songs that you've given me, is that just for our ears only, or am I allowed to play those in part or in whole on this show?
Go ahead and play them. Yeah, they're not done, but they're in good shape. We're happy to share them. It's a good sneak peek, I think. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a bonus for your fans. If you go back online and show people, hey, if you want to hear some new stuff, this is where it is.
Exclusive.
Absolutely.
For a limited time, anyway, this will be the only
That's
place
right.
people can hear it.
That's right.
Thank you for that. I couldn't be more appreciative. That's awesome.
Thanks. We kind of thought that'd be a fun little Easter egg.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, because I got out of my gig, and I'm like, oh shit, I've got email from you guys, and it's like, oh, I've got a song. I got a new song. I was very excited, and then JR, I touched base with JR and said, hey, you ready to get on? Let's get on early so we can discuss everything, and he's like, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, so those two new songs are great, and he's like, what songs? I didn't give you songs.
I guess I'm also asking, is there an ideal time that you would like this episode to premiere to the world? Because I've got options, right? You could be the first ever episode and it comes out this coming Tuesday, or we could wait a month or 2 months or summertime or whenever is ideal. I'm totally down for putting this episode where it works best for you guys and for us.
I mean, I leave it up to you. I mean, we want it to be successful for you too. So if you feel like maybe this is a better episode for a couple in, that's fine with us.
We really don't have a
We've
a
kind
timeline
of
established at
pushed
this
it
point.
as the premiere episode, though. So
Yeah.
Then let's
our
let's
side.
go for it. Yeah.
At Anytime you release this, it's going to light a fire under us to finish the
Yeah,
album.
Right.
So it's
exactly.
great.
We don't have a timeline, but we do have a spreadsheet. And
We do.
Oh,
it has a task list, and we're
Yeah.
like 75% of the way through it.
It's getting to be an impressive
marching
spreadsheet.
forward.
all right. So, is it time for the acid questions now?
Let's do
The
it.
acid test questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who wrote your fucking bio?
It's probably me.
Definitely Ian.
Illiterate much?
Could you tell I do write? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Could you tell I do writing?
So I listened to your episode on what is it? Three for silver.
3 for silver.
3 for silver, yeah.
And he had a killer bio, but
Yes.
I have not read ours in a while, but I knew
You
it was-
you need to read it
compare.
if you can.
It's a tongue.
If you can make it through it, yeah.
With the new
So this
show-
is not, just so this is not just a goddamn we love you guys. Blah, blah. No,
Yeah.
I mean,
when we started the new show, we instituted 3 new segments: rate the band name, rate the band bio, and rate the band's videos. If there's stuff to rate, we came down both thumbs up on the name. We like
Name,
Room
yes,
Zero.
Steph.
Totally searchable. When I search for it on Google, it's all you guys on the entire first page. So solid name.
good.
And
it's got
bona
some
fide-
story, and it's cool.
yeah, bona fides on that. We've had 3 names, 2 of which were unsearchable on SEO. So,
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
That is a little rough. You don't.
Oh, it's tough.
You try to be artistic and meaningful with your name, and then it's like, well, also, like, can it be Googled?
We also gave 2 thumbs up on the videos. In fairness, and this is some acid test stuff, I didn't play Gary the video for Always Lonely. I did play him the song. The video was it struck me as odd. Like it was like a throwback to 80s family video camera.
Yes.
Is that what you're going for?
do you want to know why?
Yes.
Because our footage was really bad. so our footage was really bad, and so it was like, well, how do we salvage this and make this look purposeful? And so we're like, well, let's lean into the bad footage. Let's make it look like somebody took their video camera on vacation in the 80s and filmed this band on a beach.
Oh,
so
that's
hence we had like a
God, you should
vintage
play that. That sounds like an
electronic
awesome
set.
video.
Yeah, so we had the
So it's
electronic.
like awesomely bad, right?
I couldn't figure
That's
out
the goal.
if it was on purpose, if it was bad. It's just like, I'm just not going to go there because this has the potential to become a shit show. And I didn't want it to be that. And I'm so happy to hear that that's the evolution of that. The font took me back to childhood. I have home videos made with our first video camera with that exact font. So many of them. It was a throwback. So yeah, kudos to you.
It was
on that.
harder. It was harder to make that look bad than it would have been to reshoot it.
Yeah.
honestly, but it was. I went down such a rabbit hole in editing it that I was like, we can make this really look like it's an old video. Like, let's do this. So yeah, that was a stylistic choice for sure. And then brought about by terrible accident.
Yeah. So in response to Aaron's comment on you'd listened to the podcast with 3 for Silver, it's like, yeah, their bio is pretty bitchin'. JR didn't make me, but he inspired me to change our bio because ours was very like factual. It just had all the stuff that had gone on.
Little dry.
And it was a little dry, and it was also extremely long because we'd had a lot of stuff go on. And so I redid it, and then your alls came up, and it's like, that's a word salad.
The idea was to make the reader pull out a thesaurus.
Well, yeah. Or just
that was
go,
the goal.
this is, no. And we came to the conclusion that might be the one reason that you're the bands we've never heard of.
That could be it. That's a fair.
Because
synopsis.
everything else is like up here. That's like 11, and then there's like, oh, we read the bio, and like, no, We're
You
not
got to
gonna-
have a little balance, Gary.
That's right.
Some good for some bad.
We can't be good at everything.
Well, that's what we're saying.
I gotta-
That's what we're saying. We
blame it
can't
on
just
now.
sit here
Yeah,
and,
we'll
and
blame
go,
that.
you guys are freaking awesome without telling you the reality.
I'll take full blame. I don't even remember what all it says, but if
Well,
I wrote it,
don't just take the
rather
blame, just
confusing.
fix it, okay?
Well,
Yeah, we'll do.
when you listen to this
Take
episode
ownership.
next week, you'll hear me read it in my best DJ voice. And I gave it all I got, and Gary was still like, whoa, too many words. What is that? So you ended up with 2 thumbs down on the bio. That's all.
Excellent.
The worst thing we
Hey.
could find about you.
Just so you know.
If we had to
That's
pick,
good.
something for you guys not to like,
right?
That's good.
But then again, in all fairness, you came a week after 3 for Silver, which was one of the best bios ever.
Primo
So,
bio. Yeah.
So
wonder if we could get them to write our bio.
I think
actually.
he could have a side gig writing bands' bios. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I'll put you in touch with him. His name is Lucas Warford, and I have his email address. So we're cheap at this podcast. We did not pay for the good version of Google Meet, so we've literally got 5 minutes left.
Oh no, I just
man.
bought it. I just bought
you
new
did?
do Google Meet. Yeah. during the last round, I was like, oh shit.
We'll
I need
send
to-
you
I need to
something
buy
like
this.
on Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee or something.
Yeah.
If that was our fault. If we get
No,
charity.
no, that because we logged on early. So when we do it, when just the 2 of us do it, it's free. But
Oh,
adding
yeah,
the
group
third,
calls,
adding, you know,
Right.
because like we said, you guys are the absolutely first ones.
So I think the place for us to finish up is with these 2 new songs that you have sent us and are allowing us to play. Can you maybe set us up so that maybe we can lead in and play these songs in the show right here? I'll drop them in later. But what is? Tell us about Mermaid first.
Sure. So, Mermaid was an earlier tune that we kind of wrote when we had decided that we weren't going to be, restrained by a genre, by a previous sound, by the way we play live or the way we record. And Michael, actually, that guitar piece, that kind of ripping solo that you hear in like almost a prequel of early in the song, and then it comes to fruition right in the middle there, was just really inspiring. And so that was just like a little demo I think you sent me like on your phone.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It was so inspiring. It was so cool. I almost pictured that song in its entirely, almost visually, and like how we would play it and everything, just off that riff, which was really powerful. And then, we wrote the rest from there. And there's some definite effects that we use to sort of give a nostalgic vibe, and then also kind of give that watery, warbly feeling and sound that is kind of hinted to in the lyrics too. So it's been a favorite. I think it's been in pretty much from its initial recording, it's been in close to its final form the whole time. So it was so cohesive compared to a lot of the other tracks, which have been a very slow and long evolution and change. So.
Nice. All right. Well, let's listen to it. This is Mermaid by Room for Zero.
Thank
That was great, guys. And what about Impersonate You?
Impersonate You was actually the very first song that drove us to, I guess, kind of go for this sort of retro sound and embrace sort of some 80s guitar tones and effects and production. And I think it was kind of inspired at the time by Bournes a little bit. Garrett Bournes, his act Bournes, was inspiring for that. And then maybe some, we kind of reached back to The Cure a little bit too, I guess, on that with some of the effects and things. And that was a song that we talked about when we were in that parking lot and decided kind of what we wanted to do with this album. So this is actually the very first sort of demo we did for the new album. So I think it's kind of a quintessential piece of what the album will be like.
And I think, too, something that's important about that song is that it's changed so much over the course of us recording it.
Absolutely.
The way that song was when we first started, it's completely different from how it has ended up. And every time we've made a significant change to it, I think we all like it way more than we previously did.
Absolutely.
So I think we're pretty happy with it.
That's one that needed the 5 years to marinate. Yeah.
Although
A lot of happy accidents along the way.
The drums have remained pretty consistent.
That's true. That's true.
We recorded the drums for this
Nice,
for the whole album like 5 years ago, and Aaron just had nothing to do except hang out.
Yeah. Lucky Aaron.
I hate to admit it.
Thank
but
God the drums
probably-
are the easiest part. I mean,
I
really.
probably
you know.
lost all my drum chops. I literally haven't sat behind the kit in like 3 years. Other than to hack, you know.
You
Yeah.
have to build those calluses back up.
You know it.
Well, on this album, actually, I used to, maybe this is not relevant right now, but we used to gig, do cover shows, and I would bring out like a 6-piece kit with a rack system. And I think it was around the time we had this change of heart where we're going to play what we want that I decided to give up that and move down to like a 3-piece. And this album is the first album where most of the drums have just been kind of like, I don't want to say the old parts weren't, but just as little as was required by the song. Just play the beat and let the song do the talking and not try to like overplay to that. So even if I have lost my chops, I should still perform these when we get back out on the road. So.
They'll come back for sure. I pay attention to the drums a lot as the drummer in our band, and your drums absolutely they serve the song, which I'm still learning how to do.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him to cut down one tom. Like you can lose one tom,
Yeah.
but he can. Yes. He has a patented drum fill, though.
It screws up my fill.
I know
Like a happy
your
medium
patented drum
between,
fill
like-
can't be had with the one tom thing. So
It's like Meg White or Neil Peart. It's somewhere in between there
Exactly.
is where we settle, right?
All right, so let's listen to Impersonate You once again by Room for Zero.
Do you remember summer days out in the streets? It was so hot we could hardly breathe. You got your leather jacket zipped up all the way. You look so cool, I could hardly see. And I know I could have cut it as we fell down into the flame. Baby, I gotta stop being me and be more like you. And maybe you will think I'm cool too. I'll just impersonate you. Even though I hate you, I'll become you for today. And suck up all your fame. I'll never be the same. Wait, I'll just impersonate you. Even though I hate you, I'll become you for today. And soak up all your fame. I'll never be the same.
Walking down the beaten path, they beat me up, they push me back. Let me try this last mask, I can't be me, I'll never last.
And what if I everything that we held dear?
What a day, love you more each day. The sun will dance and fade away. If I leave, what will you say?
Behind that mask you shed the sweetest tear. Now soak up all your fame. 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 I hate you, I hate you. I'll never be the same.
And we're back. And that's two new songs that are literally world premiere exclusives here on Bands You've Never Heard Of, courtesy of the guys from Room for Zero. And I think it's now time to remind our audience that those are not fully completed yet, right? Like the final
Those are
tracks
roughs,
might
right?
sound different than that.
Yeah, those are some rough mixes. So that's a special peak there. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys again so much for doing that. What should we have asked you that we didn't ask you?
Maybe about our craziest tour story. Do we want to talk about that?
Which one is it though?
Bowling Green.
I think
Gonna
we
make,
have
us,
to
it's
talk
gonna
about
make
it
us
now.
sound
Yeah,
really lame.
well, let's lead into that by how many, have you done a few tours or
We've done some regional touring.
Local and regional. Yep.
Yeah.
a tour is a tour. It doesn't matter where you go, it's that you go.
Yep.
So
Ohio and Cincinnati in particular is pretty nice because you can get to Indianapolis in a pretty short trip. You can get to Columbus. You can get to all those places. We've gone a few times to Indianapolis, so that's been kind of our probably most of the stuff that we've done that's been regional has been either in Indianapolis, but we also did Bowling Green, Ohio.
Yeah, Bowling Green.
Bowling
Right,
Green,
forget.
Ohio,
Right.
not Kentucky.
Not Kentucky.
Not Kentucky.
No
Or
Corvettes up there.
but there's also a Bowling Green, Virginia.
That's true. That's,
that's
true
right.
too.
There's a lot of
There's
Bowling
probably quite a
Greens.
few.
There's probably a Bowling Green, Pennsylvania too, because
Yeah.
Just
have
like
you ever thought
Cincinnati,
about doing a
Iowa?
Bowling Green tour where you just play bowling greens?
I really like
know,
that
in
idea.
every state.
No, not after our experience.
Shouldn't Bowling for Soup do that? Like, isn't that like some fun tie-in they could do? Like,
All right, so what's the story? You've alluded to it a couple times. You brought it up, not me, so you have to tell us.
man.
all right, we took our trailer up to Bowling Green, Ohio for a little gig. What was the name of the venue? Does anyone remember?
I don't.
No.
I think we've repressed.
They've blocked it out of their minds.
So we pull in and we're parking our trailer in the tight little parking lot, and we run over a glass beer bottle in the parking lot. Classic. And it actually puts a hole in the, the tire of Chris's SUV. Not a problem. Chris is always prepared. He's a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout rather. Excuse me. And it was not a problem. We had spare. We had all of our tire changing kit. So not a problem. Park it. We load in. While we're loading in and setting up, we're gonna change the tire. We can't get one lug nut off, and we're slightly burly men. I mean, it wasn't for lack of trying or ability. We really couldn't get it off.
And how
But-
cold was it? It was like.
Oh, it was cold.
Was it below freezing?
Yeah, it was well below freezing that night, and that's all right. So we went and we we always would do like a little acoustic live stream before our show. So we did that in the front. The AAA guy shows up because we figure like, oh, he'll maybe have some pneumatics on the truck and be able to get this sucker off. So he shows up mid acoustic live stream, which was kind of funny. And we hop over and he goes, well, I got like a tire iron. I was like, well, we tried that, man. We need some heavier, machinery here. He's like, yeah, I don't have anything like that. Sorry. So he left.
The AAA dude.
Yeah, AAA guy left. We played the show. It was a great show. The opening act, there were two brothers, and they happened to work, I believe, for Toyota, and that was their day job. They were mechanics, and Chris had a Toyota SUV, and so we're like, is it the cap on this lug nut? Like, what's going on with this? Like, oh yeah, we'll get at that. Those guys were like guardian angels. They jumped in. They were so dedicated to it. I think one was like standing on on the tire iron trying to get the thing to move, and they were like, not seen that before. Wow. It must be cross-threaded or something. We're like, of course it is. Great. So we play our show. We get out. We nurse the tire with a pump.
I think Michael fix a flat.
Michael, take it from here because we get this harebrained idea that we need to go to Walmart to get the proper tools.
Go to Walmart.
No one had. Yeah. Take it away, Michael.
Because we realized we tried going to AutoZone that was down the street, and that didn't pan out so hot because the hole in the tire was more on the side, or at least we thought it was. So we're like, let's go to Walmart and let's see if we can buy an air compressor and
an
impact
wrench
and see if we can get this bolt off. So we go to Walmart. We unplug the Pepsi vending machine from the front of Walmart, plug in this air compressor that we bought, and it was the tiniest little air compressor that Walmart in Bowling Green sells. And we're just doing this at 1 a.m. in the Walmart parking lot, and it can't get the lug nut off either. So
on route to get the Walmart was actually like what a mile or two away from where the show was. So Michael and Aaron took that on foot, and it was very cold out.
I don't know why we were like opposed to ordering an Uber, but Michael and I started jogging to Walmart, and I was dressed probably similarly to how I am now because I never prepare. So we're running to keep warm, and by the time we get there, Ian and Chris have limped the trailer and the car to Walmart.
And the limp was hilarious too, because we like tried putting some fix-a-flat in it, and so we were rolling. We pumped it up as best we could. We started rolling, and then we rolled down the windows so that we could hear the hissing in the tire. Because if we stopped at just the right point, it wouldn't leak quite as fast. So we'd roll down the windows, and at every stoplight, we would just like pray that it wouldn't leak all the way out. So we'd roll, and we'd hear like move, and we'd just inch up and a little slower. We're like, okay, and then we'd hit it when it turned green. And so we finally we nursed it to the Walmart parking lot because we're trying to keep it from falling off the rim. And then we we blow it back up there. Try the impact wrench on it.
That didn't work.
To no avail.
We ended up sleeping in the Walmart parking lot because it was a holiday weekend. I don't remember what holiday it was, but no tire places were open late.
I think it was just
there was no
green.
hotels around.
No, I think it was a holiday of some sort.
Yeah, I can't remember what holiday it was, but
I think the
there
holiday
were no
was just
hotels
Sunday,
or anything.
I think it was just like they shut down, man. There was nobody around, no stores.
Yeah, but we woke up the next day and we're like, let's just try and do one of the licorice plugs again, and we'll see if we can make it work on the sidewall of the tire. And that is exactly what we did. I got underneath it, and we kind of finagled one in there. It held enough air that we were able to get back on the highway, and we were able to drive it home. That was a very nerve-wracking drive home because we weren't sure how long it was going to hold, but it held the whole way.
To this day, when you hit like those like blower heater fans in Walmart, I get like the warm fuzzies because it was so cold, and that was like a warm embrace from, from Walmart at 2 a.m. Yeah, there's like blowers they do, the little air curtain.
Yep,
oh man, that was like.
We spent much of the night going in and out of
the Walmart to stay warm.
We did return the air compressor as well.
And we plugged the vending machine back in
Weren't
too.
satisfied with this.
Well, that was nice. At least you plugged the vending machine back in.
So this
It's
is
great,
a
yeah.
pre-pandemic story, right? Because Walmarts aren't open that late anymore.
No,
Oh yeah, that's
and we
that's
make
right.
we make that comment all the time that like, what would we have done if Walmart wasn't open? It
Yeah, we would've
probably
screwed.
saved us from hypothermia, and maybe it would have saved us from some stupidity, but I don't know. But we the McDonald's too, that was right next
Oh,
to the
yeah.
Walmart, that we like waited for them to open for breakfast. It was
Yeah,
supposed to be 5 a.m. and
Standing outside their glass at 5 a.m. waiting for them.
Chris had it. Chris is like a very gentle giant. He's very mild mannered, and I'll never forget. 5 o'clock hit, and he like on the door of that McDonald's like, "We're in. I need something. I need a McGriddle."
Oh, the
It was pretty great.
McGriddles are the best.
I need McGriddle.
It was a long night.
Yeah, you kind of had to be there.
I feel like we were there. I mean,
On that
yeah.
on that aluminum curtain behind in the Too Bad music video, there is a heartfelt. We wrote it like a "To the good people of Bowling Green Walmart, thank you" or something like that on there.
I saw the "To the Good People" of, but I didn't get the rest of it. I saw that.
Yeah, it
I
was something
definitely
like
saw
that.
And that's our craziest tour story.
Well,
That's a good one.
you guys have been incredibly gracious to join us on this show, and I couldn't be more thankful and more hopeful for you guys to have major success. Like, I will not be surprised when I'm hearing you on Sirius XM, when I look you up on Spotify in a year or two, and the number of plays of your songs is unbelievable compared to where it is today. And your bio reads way better. And,
I'm hoping to read that tomorrow.
All right, deal. Fair enough.
so, Gary, any parting words for the guys from Room for Zero?
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for doing this with us. This is it's been an honor to have y'all, and it's been wonderful, and we look forward to seeing what goes on with you guys in the future, and hopefully, it would be really cool to play together sometime. I think
I
that
wish
would
make
be
that happen.
Absolutely.
yeah. I
Well,
mean,
thank-
maybe if we
thank you,
both
guys.
could get a like semi-regional tour and meet in the middle or something.
There we go.
It'd be-
That would be awesome.
That'd be
be
something.
Great.
Bowling
Crazy
Green, West
good.
Virginia, maybe.
yeah, Bowling Green, West Virginia. No, that's Kentucky. Sorry. So we're gonna meet in Kentucky
All right.
and do this. All right.
We'll go test drive
I like it.
Corvettes in the day, play a gig at night.
Yeah, I like the sound of
I
that.
kinda
can't think
day.
of anything better.
Sounds amazing.
Thank you, thank you both for doing this. I
Yeah.
think the mission and the format and style of this podcast is going to be very very appreciated by a lot of bands. It's great that you listen and care about what you're listening to. It's really great to talk to fellow musicians and people that are really interested in it as a creative art form and expression. So we really appreciate that, and I think I think there are a lot of bands, far greater than we are that deserve to be heard, and we really appreciate you reaching out to us, and wish you all the best of success with this, because I think it's going to be really beneficial to a lot of people.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for that. Validating this idea that we've had and are growing, and I really hope it turns into something. I hope our podcast helps you in some little way, and I have zero doubt in my mind that it will be more. You will help us more than we will help you, but I hope that's not the case. So, and I hope for future success for you guys, for us, and yeah, if you know of other bands that should be on this show, you have my email. Shoot me a list, and I'll reach out.
Yeah, I got a short list right in my head right now that could get you. So
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
Perfect. And most of the bands I've reached out to seem to be digging the idea of this show. They like the cold reveal for Gary, which you guys haven't heard yet, but you will when this comes out.
That's so cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Look forward to that.
Yeah, so most likely how this is going to go is this will be an audio-only podcast first, and then the video will come later once I have secured a YouTube channel and all that stuff, which I haven't done that yet. So
Cool.
That's I think where this video is going to live, assuming it looks good once we're done. So.
If it doesn't look good, just like give it the VHS effect and everything.
Exactly. The old
I got the font for you and everything. So
1985 Sony fonts. I love it.
Yeah, man.
that's right.
Betamax, baby. Betamax.
That's right.
We probably got to end this, or we'll just keep shooting the shit all night long. And
That's cool.
And I've got to work at 8 in the mornings, and I'm sure you guys do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for your making with my my schedule. But,
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
Gary.
Appreciate
Happy
it.
to.
Great.
Happy to.
Yeah,
And
thank
we
you
will
so much.
we will dig y'all soon.
Room for zero, everybody. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
We really appreciate talking to you.
Oh.
Have a good
Wait,
night.
we got to play our outro music.
Oh yeah, what should
yeah.
What's our outro
you
music?
you name it? I'll play if it's one of your songs. I assume you name it.
What's
I'll
your
play it
outro?
as the outro music.
Just give us a title.
Just kidding.
Oh wait, they're gonna play it live in the room there. They're tapping on the desk.
Oh, they're
Be
gonna-
quiet
you're
so
gonna
we
do
hear
it?
Can we turn off our
No, we need your feed in order to
Right,
make
no,
this and make that work.
I think there's like a noise reduction thing on the on Google Chat. I'm trying to turn that off so you can hear the subtleties of our taps.
Can we?
This is
Can
just
we?
a joke gone wrong. We should just end it.
We should.
Yeah, we should.
Can we?
I can't
I was
find
gonna
it.
say, can we do it? Can we do like a one of our songs a cappella, tapping on the table,
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
and we set quite the precedence for any other.
I'm hearing
band that-
I'm hearing the taps on the table for what it's worth.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is why the album isn't done yet.
I think we've set expectations too.
way too high.
Now they really want it.
Okay, what are we gonna
Yeah,
do?
we're waiting. We're seriously waiting now.
We were kind of joking. Should we actually do something? Can we do any of our songs a cappella? Do we know any of our songs well enough to tap out?
I don't.
Yeah. What's she say?
So you get to decide which
The
one
guy
of your
that's in
songs-
charge of everything says no. So
So,
No.
so you guys get to decide which one of your songs I'm going to add in post as our
Okay.
going away
all
right.
song. How
I like that idea.
which one do you want me to add here?
What about Leather and Pearls? Just as a
Oh,
complete
yeah.
wild card.
Yeah. Have you guys heard Leather and Pearls?
Leather and Pearl. The name isn't sticking out.
That was on an EP. You used to say I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. I
That's
got
a
it.
fun
I
track.
got it right
It's a
here.
good outro track.
I like that. I like having a wild card that has not been played yet. That's gutsy.
It's my favorite one to play live.
I agree.
It's just a blast.
Yeah,
Probably
it
never,
was super
never
fun.
be able to play it again. but
Excellent.
We ended a lot of shows with that one. I think.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
a
really
great
fun.
outro song.
Sweet.
It's the perfect closer. This is Leather and Pearls from Room for Zero. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Traffic light every time, come a surefire warning sign that someday you would roll up next to me. A chrome tail, flat red nails, webbing up my face goes pale. I try to look like this is where I should be. Leather and pearls, I'd like to see your love unfurl, but you ride away from me. Leather and pearls, facetious wink, and then you will
Bands You've Never Heard Of is a Ranch Hand Records production.
This show is hosted by me, J.R. Stoffel, and Gary Hawthorne, two friends and founding members of another band you've never heard of, To Be Fair. Find out more about their music, our music, on tobefair.com, TOBEFARE.com.
Bands You've Never Heard Of is written by J.R. and reacted to live by me. That's Gary.
All of the music you heard in this episode was used with permission from the band you've never heard of, Room 40, and our band, To Be Fair.
Bands featured on Bands You've Never Heard Of have no more than 100,000 plays of their songs on Spotify or YouTube.
If you know of any or are in a band that nobody's ever heard of, and you think we should feature them on Bands You've Never Heard Of, please send us an email with your details. BYNHO, Bands You've Never Heard of, BYNHOpod@gmail.com. That's the email address I came up with, and we just got to live with it now.
Okay. To hear what JR has to say about anything and everything, check out his other podcast, Three Things with JR.
And if you want to listen to Gary as he rants about whatever's pissing him off right now, check out his podcast, Gary Goes On and On and On.
Or if you want to hear us both together, considering the small things of life and no politics, check out the other podcast we do together, Small Things Considered.
I think we do way too many podcasts, Gary, and that's not even including the one I do for work, Crutchfield the Podcast.
Or your own YouTube channel, What Is It About You?, where you interview interesting people in public.
How do we even have time to play music? Maybe this is why nobody's ever heard of our band. That we'll be playing live gigs, tobefair.com for dates.
God, these end credits are getting way too long.
Yeah, let's just shut up and play the damn theme song.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks and peace out, y'all.
You've